My goodness, what is this? Enhancing transmit signal quality parametric microphone equalization. SSB AM FM mode, using the speech processor, adjusting SSB transmitted bandwidth, and a SSB mode. Transmitter convenience features. Voice memory requires the optional card. Yaesu is really bad about this. Like, you go buy this radio here, it's got a voice recorder in it. You don't have to add it. But all these type of radios, you gotta add it. So let's go look on page 6D7. 33, 37, 45, 53, 57, 65. Let's see. Why is it that every time I get close to the page, it doesn't want to move? And let's look up this too. Antenna tuner operation. The tuner does not work and receive, I'm sure. I don't know if it says that or not. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I don't really hear it. But anyway. Note, please, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? We're done. Not gonna worry about it. These pages are stuck together right where I want to go. Enhanced transmit signal quality. Ooh. Quick points. So they do, let me just set this over here. They do explain some of this, I think. The Q, the bandwidth over which the equalization is applied, may be adjusted. But I don't know if they get into the point of telling you what does what. This is certainly good reading material for people that don't know, including myself. The 1200 includes unique 3-band parametric microphone equalization that provides precise, independent control over the low and mid and treble ranges in your voice waveform. You may utilize one group of the settings when speech processor is off, and alternative group of settings when the speech processor is on. The speech processor feature is described in the next chapter. Which also, I've noticed this radio doesn't come anywhere close to putting out 100 watts unless you have the processor on. And don't need it on very much. The parametric equalizer is a unique technique for adjusting signal quality. The 3 audio ranges may be adjusted so precisely it is possible to craft an audio response that provides a natural and pleasant sound that you may not have ever experienced before. Alternatively, the effective talk power can be significantly enhanced. The aspect of configuration that you may adjust the parametric equalizer are center frequency, the gain, and the Q. So they describe the center frequency as the center frequency of each of the 3 bands may be adjusted. Gain, the amount of enhancement or suppression which each band may be adjusted. Q, the bandwidth over which the equalization is applied. Setting up the parametric microphone equalizer, and then go into a bunch of details. We've already talked about all that. They show how to turn on the processor and all this other stuff. Advice to roll off excessive bass response in a wide range studio microphone. Try putting a 10 dB null at 100 Hz with a bandwidth of 1 or 2. Do about 3 dB null centered on 800 with a bandwidth of 3. Then put 8 dB peak centered on 2100 with a bandwidth of 1. These are starting recommendations. Each microphone and user's voice will be different, often requiring different settings. So that's interesting. They kind of explain to you a little bit, but they still don't tell you exactly what is 10 dB of null. So the gain must be -10, I guess. So the other thing that they're talking about here too, probably on the next page, there should be some mention of the microphone, but I don't see it, and that's actually what I was looking for. There's a 1 and 2 on the hand mic. They're not really showing anything. They do kind of give you a little chart here. So it goes into using the processor and other stuff, but what I'm trying to do is determine which response is supposed to be what on the microphone. Adjusting. Okay, so for transmission on sideband, a default bandwidth of 2.4 is provided. The bandwidth provides reasonable fidelity along with good talk power. It is typical of the bandwidth used for decades for sideband transmissions. Whew. Man. The bandwidth may be varied by the operator to provide different levels of fidelity or talk power according to your preferences. Here are some steps to adjusting. Okay. To select the desired bandwidth, the selections available are 10 to 300, or excuse me, 10 to 3000, 100 to 2900, 200 to 2800, 300 to 2700, 400 to 2600, and 3000 bandwidth. The default is 300 to 2700. A higher bandwidth will provide greater fidelity. A narrow bandwidth will compromise the available transmitted power into less spectrum, resulting in more talk power. I don't know what the hell they're talking about here, but I can show you something. Why are they pointing out the clarifier knob? The transmit monitor function is very helpful to confirm the effect on changing the bandwidth and the fidelity. It's absolutely not very good. So anyway, well, I was going to show you guys in the menu what this thing actually does. I don't. It's under SSB. This is about as bad as the damn 891 SSB. It should be right here. TX bandwidth. So you would go in here and you have 300 WB. So that's just 3.0. That's what most radios are capable of. Now, if you turn off the radio and you hold these two buttons here and you turn it on, you'll end up with something that says TTFB or something like that in that menu. And that will allow you to go wider than 3. I don't know how wide it is. I think it's about 3.5. It sounds good, but it only sounds good if somebody else is listening wide. It might make it easier to do certain things, but you're going to take up a little bit more bandwidth, and the bandwidth police will come after you and arrest you. So use it at your discretion. I had it on. I turned it off. I just have it at 3. That's good enough for me. I can't personally hear the difference, and I'm not listening to myself talk. The other people are, and nobody noticed that I turned it on or off. So we just leave it like that. So if you got any questions or comments, just leave a comment down below, and happy hamming. I'm going to get out of here and try some different microphones, make some adjustments, and document results.